Hello. So we're going to look at, it's kind of an old gun. This is the Sig Mosquito. This was the 22 pistol they came out with a while back, and um, not the greatest gun. But since I'm doing some SIGs, I figured I would mention this one. So it came with a 10-round magazine and stuff. So let's do the basics. We'll get a trigger pull and a weight. So the weight is 25.6 ounces. And then the trigger pull, I'm going to put a dummy round in it. So there's a dummy round in it. And the trigger pull for single action is 4 pound, 8 ounces. It's actually got a pretty good trigger. So let's see what it is, double action. Okay, so that went over. Let's try that again. Okay, so this maxes out at 12 pounds, so it's over 12 pounds. So, yeah, it's a pretty heavy trigger. So, but, what could I say? So the controls are pretty much like most SIGs. So you got the slide release, and then you got the decocker here. So if it's cocked back, you can just hit it. They made these to be like a training thing, so it's a little bit smaller than like the 226, but otherwise everything about it is the same as a SIG is. So like this is a P220, so you could kind of see the resemblance to the stuff. It's got the same takedown levers. It's got the mag release is the same. The decocker. The only thing that they did that's a little bit different is they added in this safety. I think there's some law about 22s having to have external safety because a lot of them have it. But that's why I bought this. This thing, the ergonomics on it is phenomenal. All SIGs make great ergonomics. I think the only ones that are better are Walthers. The handles, it's textured okay. It's kind of smooth, but it's a 22. So it's not like it feels like it's going to fly out of your hand or anything like that. It's got the little pick rail in the front. The mag release is not swappable. Matter of fact, I think the mag, it's got the little things down there, but this is, I'm not sure what that is for the mag, but, and it's got a little thing to help pull down the mag. So, yeah, so let's take it out to the range and see how it shoots. Hello. So today we're going to look at the Sig Sauer Mosquito. I made this a little while back. Wasn't a very reliable gun, so I've had some issues with it before, but it's kind of a classic. They stopped making it a while ago because of the issues and stuff, but we'll see how it shoots today. And I'm going to be shooting, it's got 10 round magazines, and I loaded them up with the PCI ammo, so we'll see how those shoot. We'll see if it jams. It's got a history of jamming. It worked good that time. We'll put another mag through it. And it worked good that time. Why not? We'll put a couple more mags through it. We'll see how it shoots. And we got a jam there. Failure to extract. So we had one hiccup there. These are notorious for failures to extract because it's got too heavy of a spring. So it didn't do too bad, only one failure. This is notorious for having failures to extract, but again, that's the Sig Mosquito. They've discontinued this a little while ago. But, I mean, it's a great feel to it, but it's definitely had feed issues. So out on the range, we did have a hiccup during the filming out of 40 rounds. This is the problem that I've had with this gun. And if it shot great, it would be like an awesome gun. Because accuracy-wise, that's 40 rounds, and that was pretty much rapid firing. So the accuracy, you could get super accurate with it if you try. And the ergonomics is great. The trigger pull single action is good and stuff. It's got the little, they're like green, 3-dot sights. So everything except for that, it's got too heavy of a recoil spring, so it ends up not cycling. It doesn't eject them all the way. So, when I got it, I had the problems. I called Sig, and they're like, "Oh, you got a break-in period. You gotta, break it in first, or it's not gonna cycle right." And their break-in period, they said, is 500 rounds, and that's, I did 500 rounds. This has got like 15,000 rounds now, and it's still probably more than that, and it still doesn't shoot. And I'm using, they're like, "Oh, you got to use CCIs and all that." So I used the CCIs. This is what I was shooting, and it just doesn't cycle. And they never would let me send it back. So I like SIGs, but I'm not sure their customer service is that great. Luckily, the other two SIGs I got work great. And this one was the only one that really didn't work. Because, I called them back after the 500 rounds, and I called them back after like 1,500 rounds, and they gave me the same crap story that it's like, "Oh, well, gee, they work great. I don't see the thing." Well, they don't, and that's why people stop buying them, is because they had a history of not working. So, let's take it apart so you guys can see how it comes apart. So you pull it back, lock it in place, make sure it's empty, and then this doesn't go down like that, but it goes all the way 180 degrees, and then you pull it back and pull the slide off like that, and you've got the little spring there. So you got a little recoil spring, and I've tried changing this out, but I can't find a lighter one. So, like I said, I think they made it too heavy. They were supposedly, when I bought it, they came with two springs. One was a white one was a green one. I had two white ones, and I think green was a softer one, and I have not been able to find that one. I went to Sig and bought a spring kit thing, and they were all the same poundage. So I kind of just like, well, this one's going to work out, work its way in eventually. So to put it back together, you just put the spring in place, and then you just go all the way back like that, and then you got to lock the slide back. Well, I don't even think you have to. You just have to flip that over, and this just keeps this from sliding back too far. So, but that's how it works. And like I said, accuracy-wise, great. I'm sure if you start putting, 50, 60,000 rounds to it, it'll probably start cycling better because the springs will wear out, and then it'll be the poundage you're supposed to. Now, the new one that they've come out with, the Sig 622, it's kind of interesting because it's kind of falls in the same thing as this. And now one person that I had been at the range, and he said, "Oh yeah, mine works great." Well, when I brought this out to the range this past weekend, someone had the same one, and goes, "Yeah, it jams like 2-3 times each mag." So, apparently it's kind of spotty whether it works, which is surprising because Sig is well known for making a quality firearm, and that sounds either like there's an issue with the quality control or with tolerance ring on the guns. And I'm an engineer. I do mechanical engineering. I know about tolerance stack ups, and a lot of times that's what it ends up being, is they didn't do the tolerance analysis correctly, so that if everything is off, then it's still going to work the same as everything's perfectly on. And it happens. But I figured I'd review this one. This is the Sig Mosquito, and I guess it was named appropriately because it's definitely buggy. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you have a good day.